Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Neha and today we are doing a 21st day of our 21-day yoga challenge. So you must be thinking this is the last day and what is next? One thing I want to tell you, if you have completed your 21 days yoga session so far, that's an amazing thing because starting isn't easy, but you have already started, have come so far, and I'm sure there is no end. And I'm really happy for a lot of people who share their experiences in the comment box. I read each and every comment, and I really feel happy that practicing yoga makes you so much better and so happy. Then I'm sure you don't have to stop, and I'm sure that you don't want to stop as well. Correct? So after today, the last series of a 21-day yoga challenge, we are going to practice next 5 days or back bends challenge again. So anybody who thinks spine is very stiff, or if they want to work on deeper back bends, if they want to get better at the spine flexibility, or they're looking for any extra routine for their spine, then I think you are waiting for something which is going to come from tomorrow. All right, so let us start today's session. Before we start, I want you to subscribe my channel and click the bell icon right next to it. Also, you can follow me on Instagram with the ID of Yoga for Cure. Alright, so let's get started. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, relax your shoulder, relax your spine. I always say this because it's very important for you to be mentally and physically prepared for the session. Take a deep breath in and deep breathe out. Relax yourself. Relax your shoulder, relax your spine. Focus on the breath. Tell yourself that you're going to start the practice with all the awareness, all the focus on yourself and no other thoughts. Now gently open your eyes. Take your both the hands straight forward. Gentle wrist rotation. And the other side. Now interlock your both the fingers. Now stretch your fingers out and relax. Stretch it out. If you're working on the computer, if you use your fingers a lot on the system, then this should really help you. Tighten, relax. The last one. Tighten, hold, stretch your arms out, stretch your fingers out. 3, 2, 1. Inhale up and exhale, relax. Now relax your shoulder. And the other side. Now come on your fours. Keep your fingers apart from each other. Keep your knee apart from each other. On your toe. Now your wrist and your knee and your toes in a straight line. All you're going to do, you're going to lift your knee up and you're going to hold for 5 counts and you're going to drop it down. Keep your shoulder stable and try to keep your shoulder extended towards the out. Lift your knee up. Engage your core muscles, engage your stomach. 3, 2, 1. Down. Inhale, come up. 3, 2, 1. Drop it down. This is kind of activating your body, activating your core muscles so that you can practice better forward. Once again, inhale up. 3, 2, 1. Now from here, drop your heel and don't drop your knee down. Just see if you can hold here. Inhale, hip up, 2. Inhale, hip up. Try to push your spine up. Feel the stretch and forward. Once again. Drop your heels, hip up. So the more you increase the counts, you're going to stretch your spine more and more and more. Down. 4. Up. So you can look down to the stomach now. Stretch your elbows and knees straight. 5. Stretch your heels back more now. So try to extend your elbows a little more. Forward. 6. Drop your heel. Now focus on your tailbone, your lower back. Try to push your hip completely up and try to extend your knee out. The last one. Get your heels closer. Now relax your heels. Extend your shoulders, extend your elbows. Make sure that when you extend your knee, try to keep your knee tucked in, not like bent, tuck in. Drop your knee down. Now you know that why did we focus on our wrist rotation, because here we are using our palm on the floor a lot. Make sure that you do enough warm up for your wrist so that you don't hurt your wrist. In case if you find some pain in your wrist while practicing, then take a break, do some rotation for the wrist, relax your wrist and then get back. In the pain, just don't force yourself to practice. Now get your knee together. Okay, extend your palm slightly out. So far we were keeping our wrist and shoulder in straight line. Now we're going to extend. We're going to keep our palm slightly out and chest forward. See, from the hip out, I'm just tucking my hip tummy in. You can see from here I have taken my tummy in, which will help me to get my chest forward. Now from here, take your elbow in just the way you go down to Ashtanga, hip out and drop your chest down. Okay, elbow inside. Now if you want to work on your arms, if you want to get better at your arm strength, you're going to push your elbows out, you're going to come up. And suppose for few people if it is difficult, from here if they can't come up, you don't tuck your toe out, keep your toe as it is, drop your stomach down, come up to Bhujanga and then take your space. Clear? We're going to do this for next 3 times. Exhale, elbow in, chest down. Now you know the variation and you know what exactly to be done. Inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down. Be here, your hip is off the mat and your stomach is not touching the floor. Your palm is next to the chest and your chest is on the floor. Now from here, try to lift your tailbone slightly up more. Keep your lower back engaged and extend your both the hands straight forward. Now your whole body is kind of very much focused on your lower body, especially on your lower back. So just like hold, continue to breathe. You can clearly feel your tailbone. Just keep your eyes closed and just focus. Hold. 3, 2, drop your chin down. 1. Now slowly slide back, get your palm next to the chest and elbow in. From here, either you slide up and come to Bhujangasana or push the floor away from you and come here, relax in child posture. This particular thing will help you a lot to increase your shoulder strength as well as your arm strength. So definitely try to practice, and in case if you find it too hard initially to practice, then you can just like take the help of Bhujangasana and over a period of time you can see that you are getting better. But then only thing I would say, just keep trying. Now come again in the same posture where your wrist is not in a straight line to the shoulder but then slightly apart. Okay, your knee together. Now we're going to lift our both the toes off the mat. Okay, now lift your right leg up. Now here, in case if you think you have a knee pain, because when we are in this posture, you are on the balls of your knee literally and your complete knee is on the floor and you're going to find it hard because it might start paining. So you can bend your mat, just make another layer on it and you can keep your knee on that, which will give you kind of a cushioning to the knee and you won't feel any pain. Or else if you think your knee is absolutely fine, you can continue, then continue as it is. Okay, this is an option thing for you. If you have a knee pain, then get your mat doubled, or else you continue as it is. Okay, so let me continue the way it is. Knee together. Now toe off the mat, toe pointing out. Here I am going to extend my right leg out straight. Okay, don't try to push your knee up or down. Keep your knee straight, toe pointing out. Your chest should be slowly towards the mat. Now drop your elbow again next to the chest. Drop your chest down. Exhale. Again push and come up. If you find it difficult to know exactly what to be done, you can take a help of Bhujangasana. At the same time, you can drop your knee down. All right. If you can continue with this, please continue. 2. Last one. 3. Now, when you are here, just for you to get better at your balance, extend your both the hands forward. 3, 2, 1. Slowly get your hands back. Drop your knee down. Keep your heel almost close in a straight line to the knee. From here, create an arch in your back. Drop your stomach completely down. Let your stomach touch the floor. Elbows in. Open up your chest and come to Bhujanga. You can feel a deep back stretch here. Toe pointing out. Open up your chest. Don't kill your neck. Keep your chest open. Look up. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now from here, come back on your knee. Adjust a bit. Now we're going to lift our left leg up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. If going down and coming up is difficult, then you can come through Bhujangasana as well. Extend your both the hands forward. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Drop your knee down. Toe pointing out. Open up your chest. Stomach on the floor. Lift your chest up. Try to lift the floor away from you so that you can feel a good stretch in your lower back. Breathe in, fingers open, fingers slightly curl. Now, on your knee, drop your heels down, drop your head down. Keep your both the hands on your lower back. Breathe in and breathe out. Relax your whole body. Stay there for at least 10 to 15 seconds more. Try to slow down your breath. And on the stomach. Now bend your both the knee. Hold your ankle from behind. Open up your chest. Now 3 times you're going to lift our body up and down, okay, to Dhanurasana. Now we have done Dhanurasana before also in one of the series before, but then I just want you to repeat once. Toe pointing out. Now inhale up. Exhale down. Open up your chest when you come up. Inhale up. Exhale. So what am I doing? I'm just trying to push my heels back as much as possible. I'm just pushing my ankles towards the opposite direction. Watch once again. Inhale up. Keep pushing. And exhale down. Come up. Now spread your knees out. Lengthen your spine. Extend your chest forward. Here, try to extend your hands as far as possible and just drop your forehead down. Try to leave your whole body loose. Inhale and exhale, come up. Hit your knee together. Now from here, come to Parvatasana once again. From where we started. So knee tucked in, spine up straight. Now get your right leg in between both the palm. Okay. So once you're here, drop your knee down, then and there. Again, in case if you find your knees hurting, you can keep your mat double. Okay, you can fold your mat and give extra support to the knee so that it doesn't hurt. From here, now keep your both the palm exactly behind your heels. Okay, don't keep it closer to the heel, keep it behind the heel. Now open up your chest. All you have to do is you have to take your hip joint back. Okay, focus on taking your hip joint back actively. Once you have the proper balance, once you feel you're stable, just lift your heel up. Sorry, lift your toe up. So your heel should be on the floor. You should be balancing on your heel. Now just try to push your hip back. You see, more than straightening my knee, I'm focusing on my hip to push it back. Forget about your knee to keep it straight. Forget about the posture of your leg. Just only focus off your hip. Now keep pushing your hip back. So if you think this is your max, hold. This is your max, hold. This is your max, hold. Figure out your maximum stretch of your hip as well as your leg. Just hold. Even if you're here, if your hip is like tucked in, you can feel a stretch from the glute to the hamstring. 3, 2, 1. Push your knee forward. Don't move your palm. Open up your chest. 3, 2, 1. Get your palm forward. Lift your knee up. I am going to change my leg to the front. Drop your back knee then and there. If you want extra cushioning, fold your mat. Take your fingers back and take your focus to the hip joint. Now, tuck your hip slightly out. Lift your toe up. Now start pushing your hip back. Adjust accordingly. So you see what is your comfort level right now, how much you can stretch. If you can keep your knees straight, well and good. Otherwise, don't really push hard to do this because your intention is just to push your hip back and to observe what is the stretch you're feeling right now. So just focus on your leg. Close your eyes. Keep stretching back as far as you're comfortable. 3, 2, 1. Now, push your front knee forward, relax your back leg, open up your chest. 3, 2, 1. Take your leg forward, palm relaxed, take your leg back, child posture. You can feel a good and a strong stretch in your glute in the end. Now you can repeat the last thing or the whole sequence 2 to 3 times, and you can also stay in a posture for long if you want to feel more deeper. The intensity level of the asana is completely in your hand. As long as you want to stay as deep as stretch you want to experience is absolutely up to you. But be careful when you choose the practice. Do not force yourself because your body kind of knows that what is the limit, and sometimes if you really try to go beyond that, you might feel any injury or something, and then definitely you cannot practice for a very long time. So be very careful, go really slow. It's okay, there is a whole life to practice yoga. You don't have to do everything in one day, but then every day you have to start something. Take a small steps, every day learn one asana. Also remember one thing, when you start practicing, you should not be expecting that your asana should be perfect. That should not be your goal. Try to understand the alignments, try to move slowly and just try to experience the asana whatever it is depending on your capacity and your body flexibility. It's okay, whatever one asana I can feel can be entirely different for you. So you really don't have to run behind the perfection, just only your passion and your feel towards the asana should be to practice. That's all. So every day when you keep practicing, you can see the difference. You can see that you're getting better at every step. So remember this, and this is definitely not the last day of our practice. From tomorrow we are starting 5 days of deep back bends. I'm sure you'll be watching that and practicing along with me. And if you have completed 21 days of yoga practice with me, definitely please put a comment saying that you have done a practice. It will encourage a lot of other people also to practice, and I'm sure you have enjoyed so far. Thank you so much for so much of love on your comments, and definitely would love to see you again. Thank you.